season, and this guy's play has gotten him right in the mix for the Heisman Trophy. Jesse, what are you looking for in his final few weeks to get him across that finish line?
Consistency, and even beyond that, David, I think elevate. Can he elevate his game? He's been so good. It's been an historic season for this guy so far this year, but you know the toughest challenges are still ahead. Can he take his game to the next level and win the Heisman?
And that's a hard thing to do as a wide receiver. Like, again, you're going against quarterbacks that touch it every single play. So to continue the dominance in the big moments on the big stages and making those big splash plays. It won't hurt to throw a one-handed catch in there. An amazing play that wins a game late. Like, those are the moments, those Heisman moments that matter so much.
It's caught. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chain.
Anytime the ball goes in the air towards him, I feel like it's his. Like, there are no 50-50 balls. He just makes plays, game after game, play after play, and you see him featured in this offense for a reason. He's one of the best in the country, not just at the wide receiver position, period. This guy's in the Heisman Trophy conversation as a receiver.
That receiver found the open space in the zone coverage, and as a defense, honestly, you just throw your hands up on that because they covered it pretty well. It was just a good play call, really nice execution.
Got the first down, looking for more. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down. The Buffaloes getting set on 1st and 10. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Looking downfield on 1st down. He fires to the left side. And incomplete on the deep ball. Guys, let's look big picture at Colorado. Breaking into the top 15 is one step closer to the college football playoff. He's made it this far. The dream is within reach. Question becomes, will they take the next step, Jesse?
You got to keep winning. Now when we're talking about this team, you're hearing college football playoff in the same sentence because of where they're ranked in the top 15. So, David, as they move forward, they've got to continue to elevate and ascend with their talent and play on the field.
Yeah, and it's exciting, right? To be mentioned, it's exciting. To hear yourself talked about on shows and to be a team that's getting respect is great. Now, let's keep pushing that pedal to the floor to be the best team we can be.
They'll run it on 1st and goal. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Colorado!
The offense goes as he goes, so really no surprise in the opening drive. They keep feeding him the football. He shows you all of his ability on that TV.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Bringing it out. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. The Wildcats offense taking the field for a chance. We have to see them today. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead, and it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
Gets it out to the 27-yard line, and they'll move the chains for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. Defense fills those gaps. He's got one to the 28.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
Back to pass. He's got his man, makes the grab. stop just shy of the first down marker. The Wildcats are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll try to bully their way for the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, this offense is sending a little bit of a message here. Of course, we know how much they've struggled on 3rd down all season long. They're just never able to seem to get into a rhythm. But after that last running play moving the sticks, you just wonder what that does for their confidence.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Off play action. Fires left. Got his man downfield. Defense on skates that time. They finally drag him down at the 42. New set of downs after the completion. Motion from the wide receiver. See if they can get the edge on the jet sweep. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And it's almost as if the defense knew that jet sweep was coming. Great job getting penetration at the point of attack. And they were in the backfield, nowhere for the receiver to go.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Under fire. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
These are the plays as a defense that mean so much for so many reasons. Getting in the backfield, obviously getting the sack, so putting him a little bit behind the sticks, but also hitting that quarterback, making him think. That goes a long way in disrupting the quarterback's rhythm.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Got a man, it's John. He is denied, cannot get to the 1st down marker, and it's 4th down coming. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Kansas State will have to punt it away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. And that is just about a perfect punt as he pins him deep inside the 10-yard line. Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. At the 20, he's got space. How about that effort to get it out across the 20? They'll mark it at the 21. It's a 1st down.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance.
Brings it in down the left side.
If you're going to be in the Heisman picture, you got to make plays week in, week out at receiver, and that's what he does. He's a good route runner. He's reliable, and he's got speed to take it to the house. Top 5 in the nation right now in receiving.
He can't make the connection. It'll be incomplete. He can scramble, but couldn't create anything there.
Defensive coordinators draw up all these blitzes, and then you got a guy like that, and he just can roll, and he can get out of things. He's a magician, just pops out of things, makes plays. He got outside the pocket, incomplete pass, but you know what? I was still holding my breath the whole time.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
With the catch, it's Clowney. Breaks into the open. Just what they'd hoped for on 3rd down as they've got a first at the 32. Guys, let's have a look at the stats as we've played one period. And they've swapped into the field, and we'll get it going in the 2nd. After the break, they'll go back to work. Looking to throw on first down. That's it fly. And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands.
And we talk to teams week after week and quarterbacks and coaches, and what do they always say, man? Quarterback's best friend is a tight end. Well, that play right there, he wasn't his best friend. You don't see a lot of drops from him, but, man, he had an opportunity to catch that.
And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down.
All right, you got to be careful here if you're the quarterback, right? Back-to-back incompletions. You've had a nice drive. You're still in field goal range, though. Think about this. You cannot take a sack. That has got to be what the play caller is reminding his quarterback about in the headsets right now. If it's not there, throw this thing away because we've got a chance to at least get 3 points here.
Got it in the middle. It's Clowney. Got enough to move the sticks. First down from the 17. And the Buffaloes didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field. Fires into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Bucks. Look, it's still early, but we have some real distance being put on the scoreboard right now.
You do. It's early, but you got to find something positive. Right now, everything going in the other direction. So how are you going to respond when you've been hitting the mouth early in this football game? Got to find something positive quick.
He'll take the return, try to get better field position. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working.
There he goes. They stop him just a link or two short. And man, what they can do on second down here. And the Wildcats come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Looking for a crease to the left. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, second and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's third down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
How about the offense, man? Dialing up the screenplay on third down. They needed a play. Sometimes people like the screen, sometimes they don't. You got to call it at the right time. And they pick the right opportunity. They get the third down conversion and a new set of downs.
Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down. This Kansas State offense is moving quickly down the field. Gets it out quickly. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
And that was a nice second down run and setting up third and inches. And now it's physical time, right? Like, they know you might run the football. You know you probably want to run the football. How can you be more physical? Sometimes bring some extra bodies, some extra tight ends in. Go to that play that you know is your short yardage play.
Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. The Wildcats come to the line with a new set of downs. To the air on first down. Under fire. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
And this offense, man, they're going to have to figure something out. This is already getting out of hand, but they're going to have to protect their quarterback. They're going to have to start throwing the football and having some success because right now they got a bagel up on the scoreboard.
And the Wildcats with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Wants to go up top. The throw to the outside is complete. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain. Guys, they've come through on the first two third down tries. This one might be a little tougher. From the gun, one to pass. He's going to throw deep right side. And it's picked off right at the goal line. Bringing it back. He steps out of bounds, but not only does he get the ball back, what a return to set up his offense.
That really wasn't his best throw. I tell you what, you got to choose when you're going to zip it in there and sometimes put some air underneath it. He chose the wrong one, put a little too much air underneath it. Defensive player makes the nice pick.
No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. They go to the ground. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
You know, the runner just has to have a little bit more patience. He bounced that thing outside a little too early, and as a result, lost yards.
Here's a heat. Blasted as he lets it go. And the pass is incomplete, but the flag flies, and there was a lot of early contact there.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referees caught it.
So after the flag, a fresh set of downs for the offense. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Wide open downfield. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Working that left side now. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Quarterback making checks. Looking to fire. Pressure coming. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And he scoops his way to the 1st down and then slides to avoid the hit. And the Buffaloes are threatening in the red zone. Wants to throw on 1st down. Quickly complete. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal. We got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The Buffaloes will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. From the gun. Touchdown, Buffaloes! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And you always want to get the home crowd jacked up and get them excited. Get out to an early lead, and they have 20-0. Defense playing well. Offense playing well. They got a lot to cheer about here at home.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, a couple of Mountain West teams colliding in a game that could have some implications. Wyoming looks like an old punching bag out there today, and I did not expect to say that. This fan base, heck, this coaching staff were not expecting these results. They're trailing by 14 to Air Force. We've got our finger on the pulse of everything in the Mountain West and all around college football. Guys?
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. They're working that left side. Chain gang on the move. It'll be a 1st down at the 29. Looking downfield on 1st down. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. And there was lots of space as he gets it to the 39-yard line. This 1st half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far. It's starting to get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got the back over the middle. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's 1st down.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, he was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the 1st.
Kansas State has it with another 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Grabbed over the middle. It's John. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. The Wildcats come to the line trying to find a way to convert on third and very short. They'll try to get it through the air. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but finally now you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. And this will be a 41-yarder coming up from the right side. Splits the uprights right down the middle. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, yeoman's work so far today in Boulder, and welcome in to the halftime update. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true 3-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball, he is a problem. And I don't think this defense has the solution. And with that, let's send it back to the guys more than a mile above sea level at Folsom Field.
And the Buffaloes will boot it away to start the second half. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going.
Oh, it's a fumble. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
Man, I tell you what, those backup running backs, they don't get very many opportunities to prove themselves and deserve more carries and show the coaching staff. And when you do, and you fumble on the first carry, you're not going to get many more opportunities either.
Trying to turn the corner on the right. Got room to work. Tough run gets it into the red zone, and they've knocked him down at the 17.
Well, nice job there by the running back. They toss it to him, and he's able to kind of weave his way for a very good gain for this offense.
And the Buffaloes with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Second down, he'll throw it. Using his legs to buy some time. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
It's so nice to be an offense on second down in short yardage situations. Why? I can take shots. If I want to, I can just act like I'm going to run and try to get the first.
Trying to get it in. Touchdown, Colorado. And the stomping has commenced. Offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up at that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does. Takes advantage of great field position.
And they did tack on that extra point without any adventure. Coming out with it, it's Avery. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They can make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute. You've got to lock in.
And the Wildcats with a second and short to keep this drive moving. From the gun, running back gets the give. They get him stopped at the 26, but that'll be enough for this offense to go to work on first down. He'll pull it on the read. Past the first down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Man, this defense has to be better. You have to stop the first part of the option, and that is the quarterback. And he gets loose. He gets the first down, another set of downs. They need to figure out this plan and how to stop this quarterback.
Rushes on him. Makes the grab. Just look at that toughness, just running through everybody. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. The Wildcats come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Oh, they're after him. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly, and that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
It'll be third and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. It's a fumble. Recovers the fumble, and he's still going. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. K-State sends the punt team onto the field, ready to boot it away. And that is textbook instructional video. Out of bounds right around the goal line. And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He's going to throw it from his own end zone. Makes the catch. It's Clowney. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch.
A lot of smiles right now on this offense. They've got a big lead, and they're just having fun out there. They're still throwing the football. These receivers are still getting open. Pass protection is still great. This quarterback's thinking to himself, man, I'm going to be padding my stats here in the second half of this game because everything we're dialing up is working.
The Buffaloes can really attack on this 2nd and short. Wants to adjust the pattern. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. And the Buffaloes are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Wants to throw again. Bringing the heat. Takes a hit as he fires.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field. You're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quick.
They snapped it to the up man. He's on the run. Turning it on. And no guts, no glory. They pick up the first down.
And so many times when you're studying the other team and their defense and what they're going to do, you know there's certain looks you're going to get into. And I think they saw one.
Lets it fly deep downfield. Touchdown, Bucks! And they take it in for 6 more points.
Well, as a defense, you know you're going to see the go-round, especially against this guy. He does it to defenses, it seems, every single week, and so they're not able to get back deep enough. They get run by, he makes the catch, and then runs it into the end zone. They're going to have to change up their coverage and get some safety help up over the top because this guy's speed is a problem.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point is true, and the score is 35-3. Let's Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the Mountain West. Wyoming has opened up a can, and the result is what's shaping up to be one of the more lopsided affairs of the entire day. They're up 14 over Air Force. The Mountain West likes to keep things interesting, fellas, and we'll circle back if anything big happens.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
And they pick up just a few on that completion.
It's hard to have success on wide receiver screens when you're facing press man coverage because your blockers out front oftentimes can't pick them up, and that receiver gets gobbled up as soon as he catches the pass. You saw it on that last play.
They make the stop, but the sweet throwing catch is plenty to give them a first down.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here.
Oh, he's got some space. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands.
Pass interference.
A very productive play until it was wiped out by that penalty, and they'll go back to work. Offense set on first down. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Still running at the 40. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. At the 20. Touchdown, Kansas State. He shed tackles like a snake getting rid of his skin.
Well, we see the home run on offense, but defensively, we've got to do a better job tackling. You've got to get hats to the football, and then you got to bring the ball carrier down. Poor fundamentals, poor tackling helped lead to that long touchdown.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point cuts into the lead just a touch, 35-10. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. This drive will open from the 15. Wants to go up top on first down. Trying to escape and get it himself. Firing to the right, complete. He goes out of bounds. They'll mark him right at the 30-yard line. That's the kind of play that can give a drive momentum.
There are a lot of offenses out there that would probably be a little bit more conservative when you've got a lead like this in the third quarter. But when you've got the playmakers these guys have at the skill positions throwing the football, you should keep airing it out, and that's exactly what they're doing now.
He uncorks a laser deep down the middle. They make the tackle, but not before he finishes off this third period with a big play. Guys, Colorado has the lead here. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Just about ready to go in the fourth, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Wants to throw on first down. He'll take another shot here. Got a man in the middle. The tackle is made, but he's got it first and goal from the 6. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
An outstanding game, has taken care of the football. Now late in the game, you got the lead. That first first down now tells me now it's time to start running the football, run the clock, get out of here with the dub.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
We thought we might see some of this. They'll go to the Wildcat formation here. Back has it. Touchdown, Buffaloes! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They extend this fourth quarter lead, and now they are staring at a 7-game winning streak.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
And he added the extra point. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. K-State has the ball back, and the Power Cat offense returns to the field. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea... And the pressure gets there, and down he goes at the 18.
And this has been one of those days you want to forget. I mean, you're getting drunk. There's no other way to put it. It's been a bad day. I'm trying to put a drive together here, maybe to just get some kind of momentum, something positive, maybe something in the locker room we can talk about that didn't go wrong.
And the Wildcats, now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Second down, they'll go to the air. Pocket breaking down. On the move, he fires. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on first down. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback and this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You've got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Now facing a third and long. Sends it back in motion. Here comes the heat. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
And it's simply been that kind of day for this offense. They've had so many struggles, and at this point in the fourth quarter, you're trailing by a ton of points. The defense knows you're throwing.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. Makes the grab plenty for the first down. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect fourth down call there. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Makes the grab. Takes it all the way down to the 4 after making the grab, and they're set up.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
They'll give it another shot on second and goal from the 4. Back to pass. They're setting up the screen. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats! Once the game reaches this point, you start thinking ahead and how you can find something positive to take into the next game.
Dang right. Keep the offense rolling. Try to find some plays that I can use throughout this season that I can have some more success, or I guess have success. I haven't had a lot of success today, but I'm looking for the future.
Getting set for the point after. And it's up and good.
It is good. That makes the score Colorado
So the kickoff team will come out after they turn in a score on that last drive. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
We'll send the tight end in motion. Use the play fake, now to throw. Moving away from pressure. It'll be incomplete. Tried to extend the play, but just couldn't find anybody open.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
They get to him as he throws. Another interception. That's number 17 on the year.
And his QB's put up a lot of numbers today and had a lot of success, but man, he makes his first mistake. And this defense, they finally capitalize. They get the big turnover and stop.
Yeah, they needed something to go their way finally against the pass, and they get it right there. Now, if you're this quarterback, you got to turn the page quickly. Obviously, they're not going to stop throwing the football. They've had tons of success with this game tonight so far. He's going to be able to have to bounce back from that interception.
And here comes the Kansas State offense back onto the field. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Got him downfield. The chunk plays that they love, and he takes it all the way down to the 10.
Well, I'll give this offense some credit because they've got a lot of fight. There is no quit in them, and they're obviously trailing by a big amount in this game. They haven't had a lot of success, but they're still taking shots, and their players are still out there competing.
Trying to get rid of it. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Running back looking for the end zone to the left. Back's going for the goal line. And he's run out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they keep him out of the end zone for the moment. How about this defense digging in its heels after the big play? It's now 3rd and goal. Try to barge their way in. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. A field goal does not top the list of most helpful things at this juncture, so they'll go for it on 4th. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Kansas State.
And how about this offense? A big situation on 4th and goal, and you trust your running back. You trust your offensive line. You trust the physicality of this unit, and they reward that trust, and they punch it in for 6.
Lining up for the PAT. Splits those uprights right in half. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the Mountain West. Wyoming is currently up big right now in a game they'll be talking about in Laramie for some time. They're up by 28 over Air Force. Any change of momentum, any notable highlights from Mountain West country, we'll let you know, fellas.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today too, David. They had a really good game plan coming into this one, and they went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them, or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
Off the bootleg, wants to toss it. Fires downfield. Right on the money. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. Even in the fourth quarter with that lead, they are still taking shots. They are still being aggressive. Pedal to the metal.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Looking to the end zone. And he's in for the touchdown, but hang on just a second. There is a flag on the field. So that penalty will wipe away some strong red zone execution and take the score off the board. Looking for a productive play on first down.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. Breaks into the open. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Trying play action. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete. We'll see if they go back to the air after the incompletion. It's 3rd and 5. He's looking to throw. Right on the money. He gives them a fresh set of downs, and this one will be 1st and goal from the 6.
And at some point for the defense, I'm just thinking, hey, man, like, it's got to be somebody else. I mean, the big tight end has made play after play after play today. And we know if it gets close in the fourth quarter, they're going to look his way, so the defense really needs to have a plan.
Stopped in the backfield, and that'll be a loss of 2.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run. It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contest.
Touchdown, Colorado! And the punishment has been extended. They extend this fourth quarter lead, and now they are staring at a 7-game winning streak.
And they just keep piling on the points. We've seen in big moments in this game, they have been able to step up and deliver, particularly on offense. Very impressive performance.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. They just finished off a 53-yard scoring drive. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. He'll return it. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7. Timeout is called. Clock stops. 13 seconds to go in the game. The Wildcats trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. To the air on second down. Here's the pressure. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going. And never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
Kansas State will have to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. They bring him down strong. Effort by the coverage team, and that's how they'll put a period on this one. I know both of these teams were ranked, guys, but it really seemed as if they weren't on the same level in this game.
I think that was a pretty good statement game for these guys. I mean, you're ranked higher, you're more talented. A lot of people point to this game. Possible upset, 2 really good teams. Jesse, they made it clear. There's only one really good team. It was them. They were the favorite, and they just made a point of it.
You're right. Not all ranked teams are created equal. One of these teams is a college football playoff contender. The other simply is not. And that demonstrated itself today. The higher-ranked team is a team with national championship aspirations. They've got so much talent.